Hello and how are you? My name is Mahindo Mubarak and I welcome you to our demonstration where we're going to take you through our system that will enable you to perform all the hospital processes or health center processes that will start from onboarding a new patient and going through the front desk, keeping their medical records, and also in the patient generating the medical reports, and also be able to bill the patient, and also be able to keep the inventory of the hospital, such as the stock, and it also manages the insurance. So in simple terms, it enables you to perform almost every process that you may need to perform in a hospital. It enables you to keep those records. So in simple terms, a complete hospital management system. And in this video, we're going to go through it and we see how we can be able to operate this system. So at the moment, the system is web-based. So if you want to access it, the system is being hosted at app.globalhealthrescue.com. That is the link that you'll have to enter in your browser if you want to access the system. app.globalhealthrescue.com. So after putting that link in your browser, such as Google Chrome or Opera, you'll press enter and you should be connected to the internet, and the system will make you, that browser should be able to bring you at this level on this page. So go ahead and enter your information for logging in. So if you don't have this information for logging in, you have to contact your administrator or you contact us to be able to create for you the login information. So go ahead and enter the login information that will have been provided to you. And once you log in for the very first time, you'll be able to see this. So we're going to go through the arrangement of the system, how it is organized, and then after going through how it is organized, we shall now go through the processes of the actual system. So once you've successfully logged in, you'll have here a button where you can collapse and expand the menu, and then you have a shortcut where you can be able to create a new consultation or add a new employee or add a new specialist, so you can call employee or user. And then here you have ability to change your password by clicking here and then settings. You have even ability to do what? To log out. If you're done with everything, you can just simply click here and say log out. So after that, we have processes that you might need to do or to access in the system. And these processes or these items, they are found in this left side menu. We're going to go through each of them. And then after, you have now the dashboard. So the system does not limit you to use the computer all the time. You can still access it using your mobile phone. So if you access this system through the mobile phone, it will look like this. Let's look at how the system looks like when you're using it on the phone. So the system will look like this. You'll have here a menu collapsed where you can expand and collapse it, and you have here the items themselves. Okay, now the items here. So that's how the system looks like on the phone. So in simple terms, you can be able to perform all operations even when you're using the phone. So let us first explore the dashboard before we go through the processes. So every time the patient comes or the patient visits the hospital, we shall be calling it consultation. So if a patient comes for the first time, the second time, the third time, those are 3 consultations, but on one patient. So a patient will be entered once, but they can come for multiple consultations. So that process that a patient takes beginning from the very first beginning up to the end, we call it a consultation. So here, you'll see the consultations in different stages. I shall first greet the person who is logged in, and then the system will show you the number of pending consultations. So you shall look at different stages, what is meant by pending. And then here we shall see the ongoing consultation, and here we shall see the completed consultation, or the tasks, the pending tasks. We shall also see what is meant by task. Then here you'll be able to see the pending payments. These are the payments that are supposed to be made, but they have not been done. And then you shall have the pending tasks. These are the things that you're supposed to do, the tasks. And then we shall see how you can be able to view different tasks using the what? Using the calendar that will be shown on this dashboard or web portal. So with that much said, we're going to look at different terminologies and understand them that we have briefly explained about. But when you log into the system at a glance, you can be able to know how many consultations that are pending, how many consultations that are currently ongoing, that have not been completed, and how many tasks do I have to do at this particular time, as well as the payments that have not been done, and also the tasks that you're supposed to do, and also the calendar or the tasks being summarized on the calendar. So that is our simple dashboard for the system. Now, here we have the menu. So we're going to first explore the menu, and then after exploring the menu, we shall go ahead and start performing different operations that can be done on the menu. So first and foremost, we have a place where you can edit your profile. So let us explore different things that you can do in the system. We're not going to explain them, but we're going to first look at them. Then we shall go ahead and start implementing. So we have the place where you can edit your profile here. So in case you want to change your password, you want to change your basic information, just simply click on edit profile. You'll be able to see the page where you can update your information. Then you have the administration, system administration. Here in the system administration, you can be able to do what? You can be able to configure different things, such as setting the services that we offer, setting the companies. So when I talk about companies here, I mean the insurance companies. So the system will enable you to even have the insurances, or having patients being insured under different companies. So here is a place where you can be able to add different companies. Still under the same place, you'll be able to do what? You'll be able to set. You'll be able to set what? You'll be able to set different employees, adding the workmates, or adding people that are under you, or adding specialists. This is a place where you'll be able to set them from. So leaving the system administration alone, we have the system, the stock management. So here in the stock management, it's a place where we'll be managing the stock as it sounds. So we shall go into details and look at how we can manage stocks using the what? Using the system. So we go ahead and look at the cards. So here the cards, these are insurance cards, or you can call them hospital cards. So the system will enable you to create cards for your patients, so that when they come next time, they cannot even use cash, they can use the card. So they can use the card to do what? To pay for their services that they will have consumed in the system. And you can be able to say whether the card should use credit or should not use credit. So that the cards. Then here we have card records. Card records are the one that will enable you to see each transaction that is happening on each transaction that is happening on each card, and how the money goes on the card and how the money has exited the card. So these are called card records. Then you have patients. So here is a list of what? Of patients. So every person who visits the hospital that is not our worker and want to keep their records into the system, in simple terms, we have made it just in simple terms that we should call them patients. And this is the section where we'll be finding the list of those patients. So all our clients that we're going to serve as patients, they'll be here. Then here we have progress monitoring. So progress monitoring, it is a place where we'll be seeing all the consultations that are ongoing in the hospital or that health center, and on which level they are on. We call it progress monitoring. Then you have your payment records. This is a level where I'll be seeing the payment records. And then you have consultation payments. These are consultation payments. How people, the consultation payment, consultation that are under payment level, they'll be found here. Then you have billing. So billing, it is a level where you'll be billing the services that someone has taken from our hospital. Then you have doses. It's a place where you'll be defining the dosages that a person should be taking. Then you have the medical services. These are now the actual tasks that you will be recording, that will be going in the hospital. So be recording them here. And then you have appointment schedule. So I was supposed to start from top because it has to start from top up to bottom. So it is a place where you'll be scheduling the appointments, and then you have the dashboard. So in simple terms, those are the steps, or those are the features that we have in the system, and we have explored each of them. So now we are going to go ahead and explain how you can do, or how you can make use of each and everything that I've just shown to you. So first things first, we shall go to system administration and go to companies. So here you should notice one thing, that every tab that you click on, it is basically in a single structure, whereby you'll have a list of items, or what you can call a table, and you have a place where you can search, and then you'll always have a button here. Most of the time you'll always find here a button of creating a new item. So this button will look like this on the phone. Let's see how it looks like on the phone. It will be just simply a plus, like the way you see here, this one here. So if you want to create a new item on that particular tab, you'll find the new button here. Then you'll have ability to do what? To export your data. In case you want to export the data and you want it in Excel, you'll always find there a button to do what? To export your data. So that is it. Now, to add a new company, now you can be able to do what? To guess. As I've told you, you'll always find here what? A button. So this can be like insurance companies. So click on new and go ahead and add. So here you add a company. First of all, before you add a company, you'll have to first add a user, which you can find here under employees, or you can call system users. So you'll have to add a user or the owner of that company. So come here to employees and then go ahead and click on new to add the owner of the company. So go ahead and feed in this information. Add the owner of the company and give them the role of company admin. So after adding the owner of the company, now the next thing is now to add the company. So this is the place where I'll be able to create the password of the owner of the company and give them company admin. Then go ahead and say company and go ahead and add new company. So at this level, company owner here, you remember I told you that you have to begin by adding the company owner as a user. So you'll find them in this drop down. So go ahead and select that company owner and then proceed with these other things. So after doing so, the next thing is now to enter the services that you offer at your hospital. So I've shown you how to add a company and the company owner. So you're here under system administration. So to enter the services that you offer at the hospital, you go to services tab and then go ahead and press new to add a new service. So when you click on new to add a new service, it will give you just this simple form that will enable you to do what? To add a service. So to add a service, just simply go ahead and give it a name, or give it a service name, and then go ahead and give it a price. at which price do you offer this service. So this will enable other billings to depend on this service, and then state whether it is active or inactive. So let's say that you stopped or you paused offering a certain service. Instead of deleting it, you can go ahead and set it as what? As inactive. Then later you can come and edit. So to edit an item, you'll always find here a button here where you can do some actions. Go ahead and do what? And edit it. Click edit here. So to submit, you just simply click on this submit. All right. So go ahead and enter the service, add different prices for these services. Go ahead and add them. So it means that now when you shall be conducting these services, the system will be automatically billing the patients on this service. Okay. So one more important thing about this service is the price. So go ahead and add the price and submit. So after doing so, now the next thing is to add the stock. So this stock, you can do it at any time you want. But it is important to first set up your stock. So to set up the stock, it means that you're entering the information of the store information, such as your medicine and the rest, the pharmacy of the hospital. So you just simply come here to stock and then click on stock categories. So in stocks categories, you're adding different drugs or different things that you keep in your stock. It can be a service, it can be it can be a product. Let's say that you keep paracetamol, Coartem into your hospital or into your health center. So go ahead and add it here. So the system should be able to understand the things that you keep in your stock, and the later settings should be just a drop down of what you'll have set here. So go ahead and click on new. So you go ahead and enter the item name. Let's say you keep Panadol. So go ahead and put Panadol and then put the measuring unit. Of course, you put the most minimum measuring unit that you always use at your place. Maybe you always measure in tablets. So go ahead and put your tablet. If you measure in maybe pieces, go ahead and put your piece. So here I'll be using singular. If you measure in liters, go ahead and put liters. If you measure in millimeters, go ahead and put millimeters here. So put the measuring unit and then go ahead and submit. So that is how you do what? That is how you add a service. So after adding service categories, the next thing is to add the stock items. So stock items, these are the real items that you now keep at your health center or the pharmacy of your hospital. So go ahead and do and select and add them, stock items. All right. So these are the now actual things that we keep at the hospital. Let's say that we have maybe 200 tablets of paracetamol in our stores. So go ahead and add them here. So click on new, enter the stock that you have. So go ahead and select the category. If it's aspirin, select aspirin. Paracetamol, go and select paracetamol. So let's say it's aspirin, select aspirin, and then go ahead and put the actual item name. So aspirin can be in different types. Now go ahead and select the actual type of aspirin that you keep, and then after go ahead and do and select whether it's a product or it's a service. Of course, aspirin will be reducing, so you select as a product, and then put the original quantity. So here you put the quantity at which you purchased this aspirin, or you put the quantity that is actually in the stores of aspirin right now. So put that quantity here and put the selling price. Then put how much you sell a unit of aspirin. So go ahead and select the purchase price. What is the total purchase price? So this particular batch, how much did you purchase it? Go ahead and put that amount here. So this information is very crucial. You have to make sure that you understand this very first section very properly, because the rest of the system will depend on it. So after doing so, go ahead and enter the remaining information of the stock and submit. So once you submit, the system will track that stock. The system will track that stock independently. It will track it independently, meaning that if you use this aspirin, maybe 100 mils, the system will go ahead and reduce it and to show you the current quantity. Okay, so here I'll show you the original quantity, and here it will show you the number of current quantity that is available. Okay, so let's say that here we have maybe Ativan 1000 tablets, and we sell maybe 10 tablets. So the system will go ahead and reduce these tablets and show you the current tablets that are remaining there. And then you can be able to see the expiry, the supplies information, etc. You'll be able to see it on this level. So after adding the information of your stock, you'll have here ability to search and from your stock, and then after doing so, you can go ahead and proceed to the next level. So go ahead and add all your stock. So let's say that the stock runs out. Instead of editing it, don't edit, just go ahead and add more stock, and the system will be able to know what is the total units that you have of that particular item at any time. So after doing so, I'll have here stock out records. So stock out records will be showing you how each item is moving out of the stores. So if maybe we sold a certain amount of the certain item to the patient, so that record will be marked as a stock out record here. Even if we offer it maybe here in the consultation, so the stock out record will be shown here. So stock out record will be able to now enable you to do the accountability of each drug and how it moves out of the stores. You have ability to export this data maybe for further analysis by clicking on this button, and then the system exports it in Excel format. So that is how you can be able to do keep these stock records. Now another thing is that that is the stock management, literally. However, it is being blended with the entire system. So let's say that in the consultation we say that we use 2 gloves on a patient. Automatically the stock management will go ahead and reduce those gloves. If something runs out, you shall not be able to see it in that drop down because it will be out of stock. So that is the management part of it. Then we have these cards. These cards shall come to them later. So now let's go now to the consultation. So the consultation will start at at the scheduling, appointment scheduling. So appointment scheduling is when a patient comes and say that I want to be treated this, or want to check for this, something like that. So what we do, we can do appointment scheduling. We can either say, okay, you proceed to maybe office X, or we can say maybe you'll come back on this particular day. All right. So that is where the system starts from. So when the patient comes at our desk and say maybe I want to see if I can maybe I have ulcers I want to be worked upon, and maybe say that maybe you need some special attention, and Dr. X, the one supposed to work on you, but this Dr. X will be here on Thursday, something like that, Thursday of next week. So what we can do there, we can schedule that appointment. Or if this doctor is already available, we can go ahead and make sure that, add the patient and let them proceed to the next office. So how do you do that? So you click here new to add a new appointment, or to add a new what? Consultation. So you can see it's consultation. So first things first, you select a patient that you're going to work upon. So as I tell you that we shall be adding the patients only one time, meaning that we shall not be repeating ourselves to add the what? To add the patient. So how do you add a patient? So to add a patient, if the patient is totally new, we don't have them in our system yet, come here to patients, and then as I told you, you'll always find a new button here. So click on the new button to access the table of the form of adding a new patient. So add their first name, their last name, and remember you're doing this only one time. Next time this patient comes, you'll just reference them. Enter their basic information. Then here, add the personal information. If these patients are okay to add their personal information, say yes, and then you'll be able to enter their religion and their race. If you're not okay collecting this information, just say no, and the system will not go ahead and collect this information. So here we ask an important question: that this patient belong to an insurance company that we have here? If yes, you select yes, then you go ahead, the system will show you, will ask you to select the company on which this patient belongs, and then you can say actively there. Or if you want this company to first confirm that it is their patient or not, you can leave it in pending. So you can go ahead, if this patient does not belong to any company, you can say no. So that's an important section. Another important section is this one, where we ask you whether is a patient dependent. So dependent means that if this patient is depending on another patient's card. If this patient depends on another patient's card, you say yes. You go ahead and select the card on which this patient depends on. Let's say that I'm Muhindo, I have 3 kids. So when these 3 kids are being registered and they depend on my card, you just say they're dependent and they select my card. Alright? If they don't depend on a card, you just say no, they don't depend on a card. And then we ask you to enter the card number of this patient. So if you leave this field, the system will automatically generate the card number. If you want to enter it manually, still you can do what, you can enter it manually. And then we ask you whether we should be able to borrow these cards if they run out of money or not. So if you say this card must be prepaid, it must have some money first, then you say no. You mean that this card we shall not be able to borrow it if it doesn't have money. If it doesn't have money deposited on it. If you want this card to have ability to borrow some money even when the patient has run out of money, you just say yes, and then you put the maximum limit. What is the maximum amount we should be able to borrow this patient if they run out of money? So you can say this patient cannot go maybe beyond 10,000. So you can put here 10,000, meaning that the patient cannot use up to negative 10,000. So another thing, we ask you what is the card expiry, when this card expiring, and then you can also ask you the card here. So card status is where we set the status of the card, whether it is active or it is inactive. Then you go ahead and enter the remaining information of this patient and submit. So this is the place where you can manage the what we shall be managing the cards from. And then go ahead and submit. So if you submit these patients, if you submitted them and they have a card, the system will generate for them their cards. You can manage cards independently on this level. If you want to manage cards only, so you can see them here. So the page that you say that they have cards, those cards will reflect here, and you can be able to update this card. You can deactivate a card. So deactivate a card, just simply come and say edit, and then you can be able to say this card should not do more transaction. You deactivate it from here. If you want this card to update it, maybe to say maybe you should not go beyond this particular balance, you can manage that information from here. So let's say that this card, for example, let's say this cards of Kai Dennis, its limitation is this one, and its current balance is 35,000. Let's say this card, it comes and it adds more money, it deposits more money. Let's say this person comes and say, okay, add for me 15,000 and I save it on my card, or maybe the insurance company pays for them. So you can add that money on their card by just simply coming here to card records and then say new, and then say select the card, Kaye Denise. Let me see here. Let me come and get here the card number. So you can see the card number here. It is active. All right. So I put here the card number. So I have to put the card number and select it. So we can say maybe we can add credit. So this, if we want to add more money on this card, we can add it. If we want to reduce money from this card for some reasons, we can remove it from here. So I can say maybe this person on this today, his insurance company deposited for them 15,000. Okay, so I can come here and say deposit from insurance company for month of maybe November. So I add 15,000. So I put a plus. So if maybe the money was removed for some reason, you just put here negative and put a reason. So let me credit this. So I submit. Now you see that this record will be created here, and it will show you the reason why this credit was created. So if we go now back to the if we go back to the card here, this was the card record. If you go back to the card, you'll see that the card, which was having 35,000, and now its current balance is 50,000. Why 50,000? Because we have added 15,000 came to that. So yeah, that's how we manage cards. Now let's go ahead and see how we manage appointments. So let's say we have added a patient and they have a card, etc. All right, we have seen how we have added a patient. I've seen how we manage the cards of a patient. Now let's say now the patient has come and we want this patient to come maybe back on next Friday. All right, so to do so, just simply come here and say patient, I want to use this Kaye Dennis as our test patient. So I'll come here to appointments and then go ahead and create new appointment or new consultation. Click on new. So you go ahead and enter the patient's information. The system will show ahead the patient that's already in the system, and then this patient will give you the services that they think they need. So if this patient say that I have headache, I think I need maybe service X, and I think so here you put the services that you think they need. So I can say maybe maternity, and then maybe immunization, right? And then put here some details. So you can type here some details about this particular consultation. So if this patient comes for the first time, so can decide either to keep their temperature, weight, and height or BMI at this time, or you can leave it as optional until maybe you measure them. So these are optional. Then you go ahead and enter the stage in which consultation is in. So if this consultation is you have not touched it, you want just to be there, maybe in the field, and you're not sure this patient will come or not, you can leave it as pending. So if this consultation has been approved but it's not going to work today, to be worked upon today, you leave it in the stage of approved, and then you select the date when this patient will be worked upon, maybe Friday of this week. So you guys select the future date, and then you can put here, if you want to type any message to the consultant, the whole work, so to the specialist that work on them, you can put it here and then submit. So this consultation is not ongoing, it is just in the approved state. We have not allowed it to proceed. Okay, so you can be able to see these patients, these consultations here in this level, in this progress monitoring. So all the consultations that are in pending that we have not touched, they are the only ones that you'll be seeing here. All right, they're the ones that you'll be seeing here. Now let's say that now we're going to work on this patient, so you can create here a consultation and make it to be ongoing. Or if this consultation is already scheduled, all right, if it's already approved and it is scheduled, so you just simply come here to progress monitoring and you'll find it there. Click on edit and then say edit, and then go ahead and say this consultation is ongoing. So when you say ongoing, you go ahead and put the remarks that you want to send to the consultant that is going to work on it. And then here, the most important thing is we add services. So we add services that we're going to actually offer to this patient or to this client. So you click on new and click enter the service. So you select from the drop down. Remember, these services we enter we enter them prior, and then go ahead and select the person who will work on this patient. So these are the doctors or employees or specialists that we already added in our system. So you can just select the employee or the specialist, and then put the instruction that this specialist should do on this particular procedure. So let's say this person, we want them to go to the lab. After going to the lab, we want them to go to the setting off to the doctor or to the consultant. So the thing that you want this person to do in the lab, they're the one that you add here. Maybe this person should do pediatric test, and then after they should also do some maybe ultrasound scan. You put the person who should work on this person and do some instruction to this person. Okay, so you can add as many as possible. And then after, let's say we add these services and put the person responsible and put some remarks for them. So you go ahead and submit. Remember, this you have put it in a stage of what? Of ongoing. So I mean that it is now going on. Go ahead and submit. So the system will distribute these tasks to the people that you'll have assigned them to, and the patient and the consultation will be marked as ongoing. So after doing so the other people that you assign them tasks, so they'll be able to see them here as tasks that are pending, because they're not attached, they have not worked on them. So you can click here to see on those tasks, or you can come here to, remember we were here at scheduling, so you can come here to what? To medical services. So under medical services, it's where you'll find the tasks that have been tied on you, and these tasks will have different stages, okay, whether you've worked on it or not, and those stages will be shown here like this. So I hope we are together. So I hope you'll be able to see that the task X is supposed to be worked on this particular patient, and its stage it has not been worked upon. So now let's say that you've worked on that task and you want to keep the record. So how do you do that?